Hello everyone. Today I wanna share with you my book review. The title of the book is Jonah and the Worm. It is written by Jill Briscoe. Briscoe is a well-known evangelical Christian author and speaker. She has made great contribution to women's ministry and has taught and encouraged ministers all over the world. She has increased her ministry through a worldwide media ministry, telling the truth, and the publication of books, including Designing Effective Women's Ministries and A Little Pot of Oil. Briscoe's thesis is that God wants His people to be obedient missionaries who find true joy in their obedience and to know His compassion to the Gentiles in order to carry out His mission. Briscoe primarily focuses on a worm that appears in the book of Jonah and writes this book from the point of view of the missionary worm. Briscoe is developing the story of this book by comparing the obedient worm with the disobedient Jonah. Little worm is called to be a God's missionary. However, he is reluctant to obey because he knows he has to make a decision by exercising his free will. When little worm decides to obey the wonder maker, he feels joy that comes from obedience. Soon, little worm also learns that there are some hardships in obedience, but he keeps following the wonder maker's command. On the contrary, Jonah uses his free will to run away from God's mission, and he comes to face tough situations. Besides, little worm comes to learn that he can do the impossible if he tries it in obedience. Little worm is becoming an obedient and happy missionary, while Jonah is becoming a reluctant and angry missionary. Finally, little worm has true joy in obedience after finishing his mission. And Jonah learns an important lesson about God's compassion to the Nineveh from a withered vine which gave him shade. I like Briscoe's insight about the missionary worm. An obedient worm can be a better missionary to carry out God's mission than a disobedient human being. I am especially very impressed by Briscoe's insight about obedience to God. Briscoe describes obedience to God with 4 factors. First, God gives His people free will to make a decision, whether they follow Him or not. It will not be easy for us to make a decision after knowing about free will. However, we should decide to obey God because He wants us to be blessed by being a part of His mission. If we disobey God, salvation will have been sent another way. We don't want to miss this great opportunity. Second, there is a joy accompanying obedience. Briscoe emphasizes that obedience is so sweet, while disobedience is so bitter. If we obey God, we will get true joy from obedience. Third, there are surely some hardships in obedience. You have to acknowledge the truth that every missionary needs to make sacrifices. Fourth, we can do the impossible in obedience to God. We can do everything through Him who gives us strength. Philippians chapter 4 verse 13. If we obey God, finally, obedience is sometimes very tough, but it is one of the most important things for God's people to carry out His mission. Amen. See you next time.